Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to dive into a topic that, let's be honest, feels more relevant than ever: preparedness. We're going to break down the prepper's playbook into a clear, understandable guide.
I mean, you look around, right? The world often feels, well, a little uncertain. From economic crises and pandemics to environmental disasters, it's really no surprise that the idea of being prepared is gaining some serious traction. But hold on. This isn't about what you see in the movies, the crazy doomsday fantasies or these elaborate underground bunkers. No, this is about something much more practical, a philosophy of self-reliance. So let's dive into the modern prepper's playbook and really see what it's all about. So first things first, to really get a handle on the what and the how of prepping, we've got to understand the why. And honestly, the best way to do that is to take a quick peek at its history. As you can see, this whole drive to prepare has always been a reaction to real-world stuff. It's not just coming out of nowhere. From the Cold War fears back in the 60s to the tech anxieties of Y2K and then the post-9/11 world. Each era has had its own reasons for people to want a greater sense of security. These historical anxieties really help explain this modern desire for a feeling of control in a pretty unpredictable world. Now, let's switch gears and get into the what. The absolute foundation, the first pillar of all this preparedness stuff is sustenance. We're talking food and water, the absolute basics you need to survive. Okay, so when it comes to stockpiling, this is super important. You can't just grab any old plastic bucket. The term food grade is a big deal. It's an FDA standard that guarantees the container won't leach nasty chemicals into your food or water. It's a small detail, for sure, but a really vital one. And this is just a brilliant illustration of the whole spectrum of water preparedness, right? On one side, you've got the big guns, these massive 55-gallon drums for long-term storage. But then, on the other side, you have these super clever DIY solutions. For instance, a simple solar still made from just a pot and a lid can turn unsafe water into pure, drinkable water. It's all about having options, from the huge scale down to the small and resourceful. All right, so once you've got sustenance covered, pillar number 2 is security. This is all about creating a safe refuge for yourself and your family, whether you decide to stay put or, well, get out of Dodge. So in the prepper world, you'll hear these two phrases a lot: bugging in or bugging out. They're basically the two core strategies for your safety. Bugging in means you're fortifying your own home to shelter in place. And bugging out is the total opposite. You're evacuating to a pre-planned, often remote, safe location, hopefully far away from big cities. But security isn't just about where you are, it's also about personal defense. And what's really fascinating here is the focus on improvisation. I mean, using what you already have just lying around the house as a tool for protection. And this is where that prepper mindset really clicks into place, right? Seeing the potential in totally mundane things. Like, get this, a padlock and a bandana can be combined to become a defensive tool. Or a newspaper. A tightly rolled newspaper, sometimes called a millwall brick, can be as hard as a piece of wood. It's all about looking at everyday objects through a completely different lens. Okay, on to pillar number 3, sustainability. Now this one goes way beyond just physical supplies. We're getting into financial readiness and, maybe most importantly, actual practical skills. Let's be real for a second, prepping isn't free. But the money is often hiding right under our noses. This chart is a great example. It shows how plugging these little, almost unnoticeable leaks in your daily budget, the daily coffee run or that fast food lunch, can free up some serious cash for supplies over time. And this brings us to a really crucial idea. In a long-term crisis, what you can do, well, that could be worth a heck of a lot more than what's in your wallet. Skills like food preservation, basic repair, or gardening, they basically become a new kind of currency, allowing you to provide for yourself and even trade with others. So, we've talked about the big picture stuff, right? Shelter, finances. Now, the how brings it all down to earth. We're talking about building the actual skills that create real self-reliance, one small, accessible project at a time. Okay, believe it or not, one of the most common weeds you probably have in your yard right now can be turned into wine. Yep, wine. And it's shockingly simple. You just gather the flowers, boil them, add some sugar and yeast, and boom, you've just turned dandelions into a storageable resource. And here's another super practical skill: creating your own reusable, sustainable food wraps. All it takes is some cotton cloth, a little bit of beeswax, and some heat. That's it.
This can eliminate the need for disposable plastic wrap and gives you a durable way to protect your food.
So, what do these projects really show us? They demonstrate a core principle of modern prepping. It's often way less about buying crazy expensive specialized gear and way more about developing that resourceful, hands-on knowledge that can turn everyday materials into something truly valuable. Ultimately, this isn't just about surviving some hypothetical disaster. It's about rediscovering that profound confidence that comes from knowing you can actually provide for yourself. In a world that's built on convenience and dependency, maybe the greatest value of self-reliance is simply the peace of mind it brings, no matter what the future holds.